early top 12 players for the upcoming fantasy season. I'm Alex Barutha, and I am joined by Ken, K-Train, Kreitz.
Let's get at it for the 2023 season.
I'm taking Nikola Jokic with the number 1 overall pick in this draft, as I will be doing in every single draft that I make this season if I happen to land the number 1 pick. He's one of the healthiest players in the NBA, which of course is huge these days. A guy who didn't play 70 games last season, but has consistently played 70 games for basically the rest of his career.
Pick number 2 and go with Joel Embiid. Center scarcity is a real thing. He shot 86% from the free throw line last season. For a center, that is elite. Has more points, more than 2 times as many blocks, and more threes than the Joker. Not saying he's better than the Joker, certainly more of a health risk than the Joker.
The third pick, I should say, I'm going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 3 is kind of where the draft opens up a little bit in the first round. I think you have a lot of options here. Ranked 4th in per game production last year. Proved that he is one of the best two-way guards in the NBA. He's actually very good at field goal percentage and blocks from the guard position. So if you want some sort of big man stats, but you don't want to have to worry, you don't want to have to be locked into drafting a ton of centers, he's an option there.
It's a bold move. To me, the only question is, does he return to the 70-plus games that he played in his first 2 years in the association? A number 4 pick. And take Luka Dončić. Total season 6th in 8 category, 14th in 9 category last year. But I believe in their offseason moves. Despite adding Kyrie, I think Doncic's assists go up. Luka seems safest with SGA gone. I was also eyeing SGA. So I'm going to go dull and stick to Doncic.
I'm going with Steph Curry with the number 5 overall pick.
Ooh, okay.
But each of the past 6 healthy seasons for him, minus 2019-20, right? He played 5 games that year. The past 6 seasons where he's played real minutes, he's top 7 in per game value each of those 6 seasons. Steph, I think, is a pretty conservative pick. You know exactly what you're getting with Steph. We've seen it for more than a decade at this point, right? 25 to 30 points per game, elite shooting, not just from the 3-point line, but also from the free throw line. Losing that scoring punch of Jordan Poole, they're going to need somebody to continue upping the scoring. And if Chris Paul only plays 55, 60 games, I think more scoring responsibility may fall on Steph this year.
He hasn't topped 70 games played since 2016-17 season. With the 6th pick, Jayson Tatum, baby. We talked center scarcity, but there is also forward scarcity, especially in ESPN leagues. Hey, Tatum was ranked number 4 in total season production, 9 category leagues last season. He always plays a ton of games. He's the opposite of Curry, coming off his first 30 points per game season, and really getting close to a double-double machine. He had 8.8 rebounds last season. Game's still improving.
I don't know how the addition of Porzingis is going to affect Tatum. It's possible fewer rebounds. Number 7, going with Tyrese Haliburton, ranked 10th in per game value last year. This man is created in a lab for fantasy value. It is a highly efficient 20 and 10, 1.5 steals last year. It's just a fantastic two-way production for the point guard spot, one of the highest usage rates in the NBA. He still has room to get better. To me, he's a very clear top 10 player.
I just love Haliburton's upside. He's only 23 at 8, and that's Giannis. Giannis still only 28 years old. Maybe I punt free throws with Giannis, but I expect the Greek Freak's blocks and steals to return to that 1+ level for both categories now that he's got a healthy knee. Don't forget, yes, the free throw shooting is an issue, but he's also shooting 55% from the field with a super high usage rate.
Main thing with Giannis, like you mentioned, is the free throws. You have to kind of understand, if you draft Giannis, it may just make the most sense for you to not think about free throws the rest of your draft.
And his free throw percentage has yo-yoed a bit.
At number 9, I'm taking Kevin Durant. Durant has not been healthy since he tore his Achilles. He's getting old. Still ranked 3rd in per game value last year, very sneakily. So sneaky because you actually never saw him play. I am worrying about his health. Maybe an optimistic spot taking him at 9th, but again, the per game production is good as almost anybody in the NBA. Throughout Kevin Durant's career, and this is something, of course, we criticize him for, it's just he's jumped on so many different teams. Through all of that, he's proven to be one of the best players in fantasy regardless of the situation. So Bradley Beal jumping in does not worry me.
With Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man in Minnesota. Edwards is only 21 years old, even though it seems like we've been hearing about him forever. He now has a pass-first point guard in Mike Conley. I think a year with Conley really helps Edwards' games. Plus, he also has a huge contract that should make him the unquestioned leader on this team. His percentages are trending up. And remember, he's a great steals guy. He had 1.6 steals a game last season. I love the possibility of Edwards blossoming into the leader of this T-Wolves team.
Anthony Davis. This might be a little bit of a reach. He ranked 7th in per game value last year, which is obviously great. I like the upside, and you have to think about, well, is LeBron going to stay healthy? When LeBron's hurt, AD is going to take on more usage. It's a bit of a weird sort of balancing act. It really is some of the best defensive production that you can get from a first-round player in drafting Anthony Davis. So if you just don't want to worry about like the steals and blocks, he's an option. I think that backcourt helps AD get way easier shots in the pick and roll.
Davis has averaged 44 games a season over the last 3 years. With our last pick in our way too early top 12 draft, I'm going with Donovan Mitchell, the Spider. Debating Mitchell or Trae Young here. Went with Spider because this is a 9-category league. Just love the all-around production. Everyone's deferring to him. Great point guard setting him up, but he's also doing a ton of ball handling in Cleveland. Really no big roster changes there, except for hopefully getting a better 3-and-D guy at the small forward.
Really safe pick. Continues to make very incremental improvements to his game, but essentially is who he has been for about 5 years now.
Please trash us down below in the comments with all the mistakes Alex and I made. And please look for our regular NBA pod soon. We're going to help you with all your sleepers and busts and position analysis. Go to rotowire.com/try. That's rotowire.com/try to see all that we offer via our free temporary subscription. Again, just go to rotowire.com/try.